Testing 1 2 1 2 3 4. We're going to open up on our first selection in your book, page 645, Lechi Lach, 645.
Oh, there we go. Hi. Welcome to Shabbat Shirah, which means Shabbat of song. So why is this Shabbat Shirah? It's not just Shabbat Shirah at TBO, although maybe ours is the best Shabbat Shirah, but it's actually Shabbat Shirah all over the world for Jews, because this week's Torah portion is the Song at the Sea. So when did the Israelites sing at the sea? Okay, so louder. At Passover, well, what we now think of as Passover, what happens in that story that we tell at Passover when so as Belle pointed out, yes, that is a good summary. That's what happens this week in the Torah. The Israelites who have been slaves for hundreds of years in Egypt are allowed to escape into the wilderness to an unknown future, and this is the week we read that in the Torah. So traditionally, if you chant Torah this week, there's actually a special tune that's just for this week, for the Shabbat Shirah, for the Shabbat at the Sea. And there is a tradition that I read about today that maybe some of you are familiar with it. I was not familiar with it. There is apparently a tradition on Shabbat Shirah that goes back well over 1,000 years ago that says you are to specially feed the birds on this Shabbat. And why? Well, of course, there could be any number of explanations. There is a tradition that at the sea, and I don't think this is Torah, I think this is later tradition, that when Miriam and the women picked up their timbrels and were singing and dancing, the birds sang with them. Okay, but birds are nature's singers, so it makes sense on Shabbat of Song that we're honoring birds. So if you want to take some challah tonight and go and feed the birds at your house, or fill up I have not filled up my bird feeder in a little bit, so that's a good reminder to do that. That is a wonderful way to celebrate Shabbat Shirah, besides just singing. So another thing we are doing tonight is some of you who have been at TBO for a long time may have intersected with Ed Kaplan, who was a lover of Jewish music, who volunteered as a religious school music director here at TBO. So a number of the kids who are now adults had Ed as their music teacher here. And he grew up in the same synagogue as internationally known Jewish singer-songwriter Debbie Friedman. Her music has been for decades used quite widely in the Reform movement. One of my first youth group conclaves, so I was in the New Jersey region, it was called GIFTY at the time. So went to a state conclave, and Debbie Friedman was the singer there. And that's how I got introduced to her. So we are doing, if you are not sure what Debbie Friedman's music is, well, there's a ton of it. She has many albums worth of Jewish music, but tonight's service is pretty much all, not all, but pretty much all Debbie Friedman. So by the end of the service, you will know what Debbie Friedman's music is about. Thank yous go out to our president, Matthew Meyer, our singer, our cantorial soloist, Andy Sussman, and our pianist, Ruth Pavlo. We are thrilled that our choir is singing tonight, very special occasion, so thrilled to have them here singing together, and Xavier Leff working our technology. Take a minute, we have a large crowd tonight, which is fantastic. Turn around and look for someone who you don't know and say hi and introduce yourself so we know who we're here with celebrating Shabbat Shirah. Shabbat Shalom. So we continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. You probably didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody here. So remember, we have the oneg after services that everyone's invited to. Nice refreshments, so make sure to say hello to people there. Jay and I didn't call you yet. How dare you come up? Okay, Jay and Michael are. Okay, now you can come up. Jay and Michael will now come to the candles to light them as we welcome Shabbat, page 120.
First, you gotta light it.
Okay, ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlich ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, God, source of all life, who brings us holiness through mitzvot, and who has given us the mitzvah of lighting the Shabbat candles.
Words are on your song sheet. Yeshua Koach, thank you. L'Chadodi is our medieval prayer that compares this Shabbat day to a beautiful bride coming into our midst for the next 24 hours. So is this the one that we do, is this the one that we have verses for or no? No verses. Okay, never mind. It's just L'Chadodi. This one is not a Debbie Friedman melody, but it's on page 138. Chatzi Kaddish is on page 144.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shamei rabbah. Amen. Ve'alma tivrach hirutei ve'yamlich malchutei. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitroham ve'yinaseh ve'yihadar ve'yihaleh ve'yihalal shemei l'kuresha leila bin kol birchata b'shirata.
Our service officially begins with Baruch Hu. It is on page 146, or if you need to have the word la 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 written out for you just so you can follow it, you may look at your song sheet and you may rise. You may be seated. On page 150 is one of the two prayers that come between Baruch Hu and Shema. It's one of our many prayers about ahava, which means love, and this one is ahavat olam, that love of the world or love of the universe or love of creation, that the Torah and our tradition is a sign of godly love in our world. So we continue with the Debbie Friedman version of Ahavat Olam. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. On page 152, the line from the Torah, from the book of Deuteronomy, that has been really central to Jews for hundreds and hundreds of years, probably each for a different reason. But one thing that is very meaningful to me in the Shema, in these 6 words, is the word echad, one or oneness, reminding us that we are all interconnected. We are woven together with all that lives. So Shema, page 152, and you may rise.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam
Which
So this is the centerpiece of Shabbat Shirah, Mi Chamocha. So everyone needs a percussion. One of you take one and one take the other and walk in different areas of the sanctuary. Mi Chamocha, as we read in the story this week in the book of Exodus, is, and you can get help. Jeremy and Elijah, you can help pass. If you want to take a handful, you can pass around too. According to the story, as they were leaving Egypt, Miriam led a whole sort of dance and singing and percussion instrument, shaking celebration. So feel free to stand up, feel free to move through the sanctuary. This is the big week of the year that we rejoice especially in this story in the Torah. In fact, if you look at the Torah scroll, this story, you can see it's almost like the words illustrate the story. Every Torah scroll has this story written looking like the Red Sea parting with people going up the middle. So it's pretty cool to see. So percussion instruments are coming around, and feel free to move and dance. So Mi Chamocha and Miriam's song on page 646.
The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread, she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrel follow Miriam as she sings her song. Sing out strong to one who is exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land? And the women dancing with the timbrel followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing out strong to one who is exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice and song, sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're gonna dance tonight.
Guess that's it. Well, do we have another song we can do this to? I don't know. We don't know. You can hold on to your percussion and we will see. Oh, that's mine. What am I doing? So this is the Debbie Friedman V'Shamru. And V'Shamru is a line from Exodus that says, this Shabbat day is a sign of the loving relationship between God and the Jewish people. And V'Shamru is on page 162.
Oh
We continue with the central portion of our worship service, which is the tefillah, beginning on page 164. And if you're able, you may rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth your Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Ahel Hagadol Hagibor Hanora Elyon Gomer Hasadim Tovim Bekonei Hakol Bezocher Haselvo Beimahot Umevi Geula Livnei Vnehem Lema'an Shmo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Makein Baruch atah Adonai Makein Avraham Ve'ezra Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Ne'eh Hakol Atah Rav Mashiach Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechaker Chayim Ve'Chesed Mechayeh Hakol Be'Rachamim Rabim Shomech Noflim Ve'Rofeh Cholim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayeh Emunato B'Shenei Ahad Michamocha Ba'al Geburot U'Midomerach Melech Mebit U'Mechayeh U'Matzmiach Yeshua Ne'emat HaYot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelu Chasera Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue with the prayers of our hearts, the prayers in our prayer books, however we would like to continue silently, and we continue either standing or sitting. prayers go out to all who are in need of healing, physical, emotional, spiritual, people throughout the land of Israel, people around the world caught in war or other very difficult and tragic circumstances. Our prayers go out, of course, also to those in our community and our loved ones. On this Shabbat, our prayers go out to Paul Aronson, David Appel, Sandra Berkowitz, Ethan Campbell, Sandra Chesler, Brian Clohessy, Randy Clohessy, Jay Crystal, Terry Darmody, Roy Zabat Shmuel Uvat Sheba, Sandra Friedland, Shar Friedman, Tracy Janetta, Julian Kaner, Marion Kostrinsky, Marty Kiefer, Louis Lasky, Michael Levin, Mark Merberg, Raquel Patterson, Arnold Reamer, Louise Samuels, Bobby Sherman-Geishan, Herman Spring, Robin Stein, Andrea Teeple, Carla Teisch, Katie Weinstock, Lori Weinstock. Are there others we wish to pray for? We continue with our traditional prayer of healing, Misha Beirach, the melody by Debbie Friedman, and I believe it is on page 109. Those of us who grew up in especially Reform, I'm not sure, correct me if some of you grew up in conservative settings that sang a lot of Debbie Friedman music. I know for sure that Reform did, at Jewish camps, in youth group, in services, and all different settings. So one song that will be familiar if you are of that ilk who is familiar in childhood with Debbie Friedman's music is the piece, "And the youth shall see visions." It is from a quote from the prophetic book of Joel. And in the book of Joel, it says, "I will pour out my spirit upon all that live, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your elders shall dream dreams, and your youth shall see visions." And there's various ways to interpret this, but one way is this balance that we need the dreams and the memories of those who have been on this earth for a while and have a vast amount of experience, and the vision and the innovations, perhaps, of those who are young and starting out and maybe see that there can be a different way. And the way that we have a Jewish future is by understanding that everyone is part of the picture, that everyone has a perspective that comes together and doesn't conflict with one another, but rather weaves together and gives us the broadest possible perspective, because all of us would love to see a bright and thriving Jewish future. So the song "And the Youth Shall See Visions" by Debbie Friedman is on your song sheet.
Childhood was for fantasies, for nursery rhymes and toys. The world was much too busy to understand small girls and boys. As I grew up, I came to learn that life was not a game, that heroes were just people that we called another name. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us strength, give us strength, give us life. Now I've grown, the years have passed, I've come to understand there are choices to be made, and my life's at my command. I cannot have a future till I embrace my past. I promise to pursue the challenge, time is going fast. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Today's the day I take my stand. The future's mine to hold. Commitments that I make today are dreams from days of old. I have to make the way for generations come and go. I'll have to teach them what I've learned so they will come to know. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Give us time, give us strength, give us life.
Debbie Friedman's version of "Not by Might" is often associated with Hanukkah, but it is appropriate for any time of year. This quote from the prophetic book of Zechariah, "Not by might and not by power, but by God's Spirit," is something that's brought up at Hanukkah time because that is the lesson our rabbis wanted us to take from the Hanukkah story. The Hanukkah story is, of course, a story of the Maccabees fighting a fight and winning a war. But a few hundred years later, when the rabbis were designing this holiday, they didn't really want to glorify using physical violence and aggression to get our way in the world. They wanted to emphasize, for a variety of reasons, the idea that by living godly values, by integrating them into the way we all live our lives, that is the way that we shall really earn a world of compassion, of respect, of freedom, that is the way we will achieve our goals. So anyone who is here who is a religious school student, come on up to help lead everyone in Not by Might.
Now, the extra bonus here is not just the melody, and it's not just the words, it's the hand motions. So we have some really cool hand motions to share with you. And they know what they're doing, so I'm just going to be on the side here. Choir is going to be a little backup on the chorus. So you don't look at me, because I'm busy playing the guitar. You know what you got to do. Okay, so why don't you come to the middle, Jeremy? Jeremy, why don't you slide over this way? Alex, come toward this way. Everybody, slide over here. A little bit this way, be in the middle. Okay, there you go. We're good. Here we go. Not by power, but by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Not by shall.
Yasher koach. I'm sticking to this for peace because I'm of a certain age, and that's just how I do peace. So, and Robin Friedman is our duty trustee, and she will be letting you know some of the wonderful things that are coming up at TBL. But another way to find out is look at your emails that we send you, because we send them so you can look at them and see what's happening. So that's another option.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Robin Friedman. I am the Vice President of Worship and Special Projects, and Shabbat Year is a worship and a special project, so it's near and dear to my heart. I'd like to thank tonight Rabbi Rappaport, Matthew Meyer, our president, our cantorial soloist, Andy Sussman, Ruth Pavlov, our pianist. Thank you, Xavier, for all that you do. Xavier left, not only is he doing the broadcast, he helped with the microphones for the choir, and I'd really, really want to thank the TBO choir. We had one rehearsal Monday night, so thank you. So here are the following announcements. Tomorrow, the service continues at home with a tour discussion on Zoom at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sunday, there is religious school. I'm sorry.
Yay! We don't say that here. We're very happy about religious school.
Right. Cashier's at 12:15 and confirmation classes at 6:30. Next week, there is Mahjong on Monday at 12. Upcoming events, February 3rd, there will be a Tat Shabbat. February 4th is the Sisterhood Fashion Show. And February 11th, Super Bowl Sunday. The Oneg tonight is sponsored by Esther and Steve Zipper in memory of their beloved fathers, Max Silver and Leonard Zipper. I'd also like to let you know that in honor of Ed Kaplan, in memory of him, a leaf will be placed in the Hall of Honors. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
And next Friday night is our family Shabbat service, so see a lot of you here for that. Stephanie and Laurel are coming up to open our Ark for Aleinu. Aleinu is on page 586, and if you are able, you may rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach nadon l'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהן, וגורלנו ככל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You might want to close it before you leave. There you go. There you go. And you may be seated. We remember those who we have loved and lost, those who brought so much of their unique selves to this world, their gifts, the ways that they affected those around them. All of this will live on for many years to come. During his time of Shloshim, we remember Jordan Golding, husband of Debbie Golding. We remember those whose yartzites fall this week: Kenneth Angel, Della Angel, Bella Bindleglass, Pauline Beth Bookspan, Gertrude Brenner, Mitchell Scott Cohen, Sylvia Dukovsky, Helene Goodman, Elaine Gorowitz, Muriel Jaffe, Shirley Lerner, Ida Levin, Reva Moulton, Goldie Naxon, Muriel Newman, John Perkins, Henrietta Raff Burns, Max Silkowitz, Lisa Lake Sims, Geraldine Schulin, Lillian Sperber, Gertrude Strausberg, Deborah Weber, Neil Walicki, Harvey Zacher. Are there others we wish to remember on this Shabbat? We honor all of their memories as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish on page 598, and you may rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. Bi'amad divrach l'rutei v'amlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uv'izman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach la'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalel shemei d'kudsha berichu. La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru. Amen. V'yimru, v'yimru, v'yimru. Amen. V'yimru, v'yimru, v'yimru. Amen. You may be seated. We move from our sacred prayer of memory to rejoicing in the Shabbat day as we symbolize with wine and challah. So I believe Leslie and Helen are coming up to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi, and you can find Kiddush in your prayer book on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishar b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, Shabbat kosho v'yahava b'ratzon yininu, zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit, kinu yom tekilah lemikroi kodesh, sefer l'tziyat Mitzrayim, kibanu v'varta, v'tanu v'kidashta, mikol ha'avim, v'shabbat koshecha, v'yavav ratzon, yinkatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabbat. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And as they munch on their carbs, right before we Right after our closing song, Nasim Shalom, we have baskets for the percussion instruments. You might want to wait till we sing our song, because otherwise we won't be able to hear it over all the percussion instruments. And some of you in religious school get stickers. But wait until we are done singing Nasim Shalom. It is our closing song, and it is on your song sheet. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.